Welcome back to Romancing the Throne. Ah, yes, you believe God is a woman. So, guys, we are here with Jawara. She just had a very steamy dream about Romeo, but she's also getting like other things, maybe he's a puppet, he's a baby, there's some money involved, but she has these steamy dreams about Romeo. So we need to let her like work out the tension. So while she is woohooing herself, let's just do a quick recap. You know how it goes. So y'all remember last episode they broke bread, they had a little dance, and sparks were like flying through the air of that their whole like thing, and they move forward in their relationship kind of fast. But remember that Amarachi, Joara's sister, already hooked up with Romeo sometimes before. But that like is no issue for Jawara. Strange customs in this family, I'm guessing. But like her father comes in and he reminds her that they do have a event later on today, which we will actually be attending with her. She has to do some community outreach. She's going to help open up a business today. It's one of her duties as of being a noble. And Jawara is the crown jewel of Ondarian, meaning that she is most likely to be queen. Now, how I'm playing the royalty and legacy is that it's like it's an earned position, but through your family legacy kind of thing like that. You have to always constantly be campaigning to be in your noble position, right? It's not a guarantee. Families can be ousted and all that kind of thing like that. But the wrongs have held their own for hundreds of years, right? So Jawara is kind of like talking to her father about Romeo. Basically, she's like, she really likes him, and that and he is also going to encourage her in her relationship with Romeo. Like he likes him, he approves of him, and in this world, like Romeo is her Solstara, meaning that the return of her other half, right? So that's what she believes. Right? She's a hopeless romantic girly, but he doesn't know who he is yet. But at the end of the day, your soul star has to be at the same level as you. So considering that he is still like a baron, he is not on the same level as her just yet. But he does have the potential to become the soul star. But at the end of the day, he is labeled as a suitable match for her in the end because his trajectory looks like he is about to be doing what he says he's going to be doing. But, and her father really agrees with him and is like, yes, he could foresee it in the cards. Romeo does have the potential. Now Amarachi comes in and she's like, I heard you talking about like this boy Romeo. And Amarachi is very much against the whole Romeo Jawara situation. We're not sure the reasons for that yet. We don't think it's a malicious one, but Amarachi does she wants to discourage the relationship with Jawara. Now Jawara takes what Amarachi says like she like her sister's approval is very important, even though Amar is younger than her, and Amarachi's like saying, plus he's like trash in bed, right? Now I'm just like, y'all didn't even make it to the bed, y'all. It was a shower. He was tired. He was thinking it may have been awkward, and he doesn't even like you like that. So Joara called Romeo and basically kind of like cool things off with him a little bit. So that kind of like she's like, I mean, maybe he was trash, but he didn't like it just didn't feel like that. And Amarachi doesn't really believe in the Soul Star. She doesn't really believe too much in the old gods like her sister does, right? She believes like, it's a whole thing, girl. We know we don't have a, one of these days I really kind of have to break down the law of my world for you guys, but I'm gonna like give you little bits and pieces. But at the end of the day, Joara believes that he's a soul star. Amarachi is like, hell no, he's trash. You could do better than that, right? So anyway, so we are organizing here to go to do the opening of the business. So Jawara and her dad will be attending this opening function. Now there is a possibility that Romeo will be in attendance, right? But she is professional. At the end of the day, she is going to work with utmost professionalism. She is the Grand Duchess on duty. The Grand Duchess in private and the Grand Duchess in public is two totally different people, right? So my girl is at I cannot remember the name of this building, but let's just say it's an opening of a new lounge in Dambele, right? And she's like, in the name of Sagasaya, we welcome the newest Grand Duchess of Ondarian, which is Mrs. Judith Ward Cap. And the Grand Duke and I are delighted to greet the commoners as well as the nobles here. You all are all important members of Ondarian, right? So everybody like loves her. Like Joara is good with both noble and common people, but she really stands for the people. Like she literally is a crown jewel. Oh, here's Romeo. And I'm guessing Adiuka is trying to give him like some tips and tricks or whatever, some old player tricks. So she's like, thank you all for coming and what it's been a pleasure to be here. Right. So my girl goes back home and she has been labeled a champion of the people. Like, Joe Grant Ajitawara is a true hero among the everyday folk of the kingdom, championing the needs of commoners and seeking to improve the lives of all saints in the kingdom. She has earned the trust of commoner fabled nobles. As a result, may be easy to discover their secrets. Girl, we see you, Grand Duchess. Like, she has been working towards this like all her life. Like, her father was a crown jewel. She is now a crown jewel. Everybody, especially within their designated areas, their designated neighborhoods, have to hold up. But she wants to be queen someday. And it will be good if her Sol Star is at the side of her. So he has to kind of build up his own way. Speaking of her Sol Star, Mr. Romeo is making a quick beeline to the Crown Palace. Now, I did not invite him over. He was just like walking and he came straight to the palace and he's like, you know what? She ignored me. I can't take that. And he's just like walking into the palace. And of course, when she saw him, she gave him like this big kiss because it's like, she's like, I missed you. And he's like, what? You kind of cool things off with me. Like, look at where their romance and friendship is right now. And he's pissed. He's like, you ignored me at the function. I understand that you're a professional, but you didn't even like say hello, right? And like, is how it's going to be? Now she's turned on by how he's like standing up for himself, right? But she's like, listen, wait, it's nothing like that. Like, we need you need to and you need to explain. And then plus you said I was trash. Like Amarachi, was I trash? She's like, you're alright. So basically he's like really concerned that somebody called him trash in bed. Like his reputation was offended. She's like, listen, it's not even like that serious, okay? Maybe it was just that time. So Joara is not even paying attention because in this world, like sex and possession is not like a thing in this world and well, at least in the beliefs of the Durongs, right? They are kind of like descendants from dragon riders. Anyway, that's fantasy lore for you. So Romeo is truly upset. Like he is totally pissed because he is feeling kind of played. Like, is it gonna go back to the time where he had to basically be like running her down for attention? He's like, I don't want to go back to that. She's like, so Joara's like, I know things are really crappy right now, but listen, both of us have two different alignments, right? But we are matched. However, you have your own path and I have mine, and we will converge. It's too early for us to come together. He's like, what are you talking about? She's like, you have to know yourself. Please get to know yourself. And but don't worry, I do want to marry you someday. But you have to work on yourself. Okay, I cannot help you more than I already have. He's like, you've helped me. She's like, yes, of course. Like, how do you think that you've been like getting through with everything? He's like, you know what? I'm going home. I'm leaving. So he like left. Like, he was like totally like upset, and she's like, listen, bye. He'll be upset for now, but this is how it have to be. Jawara, I hope you know what you're doing. So Romeo is pissed. He walks out at Nancy as well. One of the old gods of new, but Anansi's a trickster god. So of course he asks Anansi some advice. We hope Anansi steers him in the right direction, right? So Anansi is like, when you're seeking power, having the approval of other nobles is not always the best path. Being loved by commoners can at times be more fruitful, whether you actually care about them or not. And you know what? This kind of confirms us the line where Romeo was going to go down anyway, where he was going to be, he wants to be a champion of the people too. In fact, he might want to be a better champion in people than Jawara. And like, what does she mean about, going on his own path and him helping and her helping him and all of that kind of crap? Like, he's come this far on his own, not so? So he's like a little bit in his feelings, and he's like, you know what? He needs a break from Dambele. He needs a break from like here. He needs to kind of go to somebody that doesn't really make him feel like they have to beg. He has to beg for their love and affection and attention. But he also kind of needs to prove himself. Otherwise, like he's so conflicted right now. Like he's he's truly conflicted, and he wants to prove himself to Jawara, but he don't know if he can. You know. But anyway, guys, that's the end of the episode here. Then, like, I just wanted to kind of give you all a little bit of insight into Jawara's mindset after that whole jump forward with Romeo. And I think that she don't want to play Bob the Builder. She doesn't want to build up a man and then eventually he might like he has to prove that he really wants this. Like, what is his purpose in life? And not just get caught up in who? He has to have his own thing. But anyway, guys, let me know what y'all think about the episode. Let me know if y'all think Jawara is right. And do you think that Romeo's reaction is also right? Like, is he okay to be confused, right? And what do you think about Jawara, the champion of the people, the crown jewel of Mandarian? And does Romeo now have to go on his own campaign to become the king? Because she kind of technically, like, it's already announced that she wants to put a hat in the ring to become queen because they haven't had a queen in about 100 years. I think since Cordelia's great 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 grandmother, but I can't remember the law behind that. But let's just say there hasn't been a ruling monarch in about 100 years, like overall. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Thank you for watching and leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.